Hi, my name is Bill Abbey, and I do most of the photography for the Denny catalog.
This presentation is about the rusty metal computer painted background number 6262. When photographing on computer painted backgrounds, I recommend that you do not put any light directly on the background. The background should be lit by the light spilling over onto the background from your main and fill lights. This is a photography script. It is useful by the photographer in the camera room and the receptionist when talking with the client to find out what pose they would like to have done on this background. This script was created using the LumaPix software. This three-quarter pose was photographed with the subject close to the background. There were 3 mini lights behind the subject, plus the main and fill lights. This is a three-quarter pose in a number 1 body position with a C head tip. The lighting is the same as the previous image. The body position was changed to a number 2 body position with an S head tip. The facial view is a three-quarter facial view with an involved with nature look. The camera was also tipped slightly to add a little more action to the portrait. This is an example of flow posing. The posing and lighting is the same as the previous image, except that the expression was changed to a soft smile. The camera was zoomed in for a head and shoulder horizontal portrait, and the camera was also tipped slightly to add some action to the portrait. This is the same pose as the previous image, except that the expression was changed to a more pensive look. The camera was tipped in the opposite direction, which tells a totally different story. Horizontal portraits should be about 1/3 of the photographs that you take. They are the most flattering portraits that you can take of your subject. Remember, we see horizontally. The lighting was changed from a large soft light to a small Denny mini light with a grid. The lighting is a short loop. The facial view is a modified front view with the eyes directed back to the camera. This is the same pose as the previous view. The camera was changed to a vertical position to cut off the arm. The expression was changed to a soft smile. I moved slightly to the right for a three-quarter facial view. The lighting ratio is a 1:5 lighting ratio. This pose is similar to the previous 2 poses. A jacket was added to cover the arms, as I do not like to photograph into armpits. This is a number 1 body pose with a three-quarter facial view, and the eyes have been directed back toward the camera. Here the pose was changed slightly. The wrists were bent outward and they are on 2 different heights. A reflector was added to bring more detail in the shadow side of the hair and to keep the blonde hair blonde. The lighting ratio was changed to a 3:1 lighting ratio to bring more detail into the background. A mini spot with a grid in the back of the subject to help highlight the hair was covered with a 99 Roscoe gel to give the hair a warmer look. The lighting has been changed to a soft lighting. a foreground prop was added. Notice how the prop has been faux painted to blend with the background and not take away from the subject. I think photographers make a huge mistake when they do not purchase the floor area with a background. This floor area opens up so many additional posing possibilities, and you will generate more dollars back than what this small investment will ever cost you. Here the subject is laying on the floor with the hair spread out. The prop was rearranged to surround the subject. The lighting is a broad split light. The pose and lighting are the same as the previous image, except that the camera was turned to the vertical position. Both of these images were photographed from a ladder. Here the pose was changed. We're still photographing from a ladder. And please remember, when you photograph from a ladder, you need to make sure that you bring the chin up so that the planes of the face are parallel with the back of the camera. Here the pose was changed again. Please note that the composition ties the subject and prop together as a single unit. This pose could not have been done if you didn't have the background floor piece. The C head tip adds a bit of attitude to the portrait. Now, using the flow posing concept, you can zoom in for a great three-quarter portrait. This pose uses the floor as the background. The composition ties the subject and the senior prop together as a single unit. Photographing from a ladder, the subject is looking up so that the planes of her face and the back of the camera are parallel. You can download and print a PDF file of this photography script from the Denny website. It's www.DennyManufacturing.com.